Have you ever felt it? That low, constant hum beneath the surface of everything. The feeling that you're an actor in a play where you never got to read the script. You know your lines, you hit your marks, you smile on cue. You play the part of the good employee, the loving partner, the responsible citizen. You follow the blueprint they gave you, the one that promises happiness if you just color inside the lines. They built this world, this grand stage, with very specific rules. It's a beautiful design on paper, a perfectly manicured garden where every flower is expected to grow at the same height, in the same color, facing the sun in perfect unison. They call it order, they call it stability, they call it sanity. But you've walked through this garden, haven't you? And you've seen the truth. You've seen the plastic smiles that hide aching jaws. You've heard the quiet desperation and the laughter at office parties. You've felt the crushing weight of 1,000 unspoken fears in a crowded subway car. This isn't a garden of life. It's a museum of well-behaved statues terrified that a single crack will bring the whole exhibit crashing down. They sell you a dream of a mountain peak and they hand you a map. But the map only shows one path. It's a safe path, a paved path, worn smooth by the millions of feet that have walked it before. And they tell you this is the way, the only way. Anyone who even looks at the dense, dark woods on either side of the path is labeled, lost, confused, dangerous. And you were born with a compass in your soul that points towards those woods. You tried their path. You really did. You walked in line. You nodded at the right times. You ignored the growing feeling that you were climbing someone else's mountain. But your spirit, the untamed, authentic part of you, kept whispering. It told you the view from their pre-approved peak was a lie. It was just a photograph, a cheap imitation of a real summit. And then one day it happened. Maybe it was a big, catastrophic event, a failure, a betrayal, a heartbreak so profound it felt like a physical death. Or maybe it was a slow erosion, 1,000 tiny paper cuts to the soul until you finally started to bleed. The mask slipped, the smile faltered. You stumbled off their perfect, paved path. And that's when they turned on you. The whispers started, the pointing fingers, the condescending looks of pity. They saw your pain not as a human experience, but as a malfunction, a system error. You're broken, they said. You need to be fixed. They offered you their flimsy bandages and their hollow platitudes, all designed to do one thing, get you back on the path, back in line, back to being a predictable part of their machine. They tried to medicate your uniqueness. They tried to shame your intensity. They tried to pathologize your depth of feeling. They took your pain, the most profound and formative experience of your life, and tried to label it as a disorder. And in that moment, in that crucible of rejection and misunderstanding, you were given a choice. You could either believe them, believe that you were flawed, broken, and in need of their fixing, or you could see the truth. The truth is, your fall wasn't a failure. It was an escape. You didn't fall from grace, you fell out of a cage. The pain wasn't a punishment, it was your initiation. The scars they see as blemishes are, in fact, the proof of your transformation. They think they broke you. They have no idea that they simply hammered you into something sharper, harder, and infinitely more real than they could ever be. Think about it. In their world, a perfectly smooth, unblemished stone is useless. It has no edges, no grip. It can't start a fire. It can't carve a new path. But a stone that has been broken, a broken stone has edges. It has a point. It can be a tool. It can be a weapon. It has a purpose that a smooth stone will never know. They taught you to be ashamed of your scars. I'm telling you to see them as your manifesto. Trace them. Every single one, that one on your heart from the person who promised forever and delivered goodbye. That is the scar that taught you the difference between a promise and a performance. It taught you how to be your own anchor in a storm. That one on your ego from the failure that brought you to your knees. That's not a mark of defeat. It's the etching that reminds you that you are a person who tries. You are a person who dares to risk. It burned away the trivial fears and left you with the raw, unbreakable core of your will. They live in a world of comfort, but comfort is the enemy of growth. It's a warm blanket that smothers you in your sleep. Pain is an alarm clock. It's a brutal, relentless, but honest teacher. It's the universe screaming at you. While they are hitting the snooze button, you have learned to listen to the alarm. This is the great secret they will never understand. They spend their entire lives running from pain, avoiding it, numbing it. And in doing so, they run from the very thing that could make them powerful. But you've danced with it. You've looked it in the eye. You've been to the bottom of the abyss and discovered that you can breathe in the darkness. You are no longer afraid of falling because you know how to build a home in the ruins. This brings us to the most beautiful part of your new reality, the punchline. Their world is a long, predictable, and frankly boring joke. Everyone knows the setup, and everyone knows the ending. It's a tragedy masquerading as a comedy. You were supposed to be a part of that joke, a sad little character who gets laughed at. But when you embrace your scars, when you own your madness, you cease to be the joke, you become the punchline. What is a punchline? It's the twist. It's the subversion of expectation. It's the moment of impact that changes the meaning of everything that came before it. It's the part of the story that holds all the power. They were all walking in one direction, and you turned around and started walking the other way. The power isn't in following the narrative, it's in being the one to shatter it. Their laughter was meant to cage you. But what happens when you start laughing with them? Not out of shame, but out of a profound understanding of the absurdity of it all? Their laughter becomes powerless. It becomes just noise. Your laughter, however, becomes a declaration of freedom. So, how do you live this way? First, you stop seeking their validation. It's a poisoned well. Their applause is conditional. It's given only to those who perform the tricks they demand. Stop being a performer and start being a force of nature. A storm doesn't ask for permission to rage. A wildfire doesn't apologize for the forest it clears to make way for new growth. Be that. Unapologetic. Inevitable. Second, embrace what they call chaos. Their order is an illusion, a fragile dam holding back the river of reality. They fear the unpredictable because they cannot control it, but you've already been through the flood. You've learned to swim. For you, chaos is not a threat, it's an opportunity. It's where the rules don't apply. It's where you can write your own. While they are playing chess, with its rigid rules and predictable moves, you can be the one who flips the entire board over. Finally, you must put on a smile. No, not their smile, not the hollow, fragile, customer service smile that cracks under the slightest pressure. I'm talking about a real smile, a smile that is born from the depths of your being, a smile forged in fire. The smile of someone who has seen the absolute worst of this world and is still standing. A smile that doesn't hide the pain, but showcases the strength it took to survive it. It's a smile that says, "You threw everything you had at me, and I'm still here." It's a smile that says, "I see the strings on the puppets, and I refuse to dance." It's a smile that tells them you are no longer a participant in their game, you are now a spectator, and you find the whole thing amusing. They will find this smile unsettling. They will find it terrifying. Good, let them. Their comfort is no longer your responsibility. They will call you crazy, a villain, a monster. Let them. These are just the names they give to anyone who breaks free from their mental prison. Wear their labels as a badge of honor. It means you're doing something right, so let them have their neat little lines, their comfortable boxes, and their fragile illusions. Let them keep walking their paved path to their predictable peak. You are not one of them anymore. You are the wild card, the glitch in the system, the beautiful, terrible, glorious punchline they never saw coming. You are proof that sometimes the most magnificent things are born not from perfection, but from the pieces that were once beautifully broken. Now, go on.